Got another draft lottery video. We're gonna go over the Kings Dynasty draft. Let's see. Let's do draft recap right here. Okay, so Madden Curse. Let's do a little reminder on what happened last year. Wait, is it on here? Okay, yeah. So last year we had the winner being. Actually, let me make sure this is actually streaming because I don't want to do all this bullshit and then it not being streamed. So, but last year we had our winner Jacob. He finally won himself a ring. Congratulations. Says I'm live. Can you hear me? Yeah, you got it. Okay. Whoa. What's going on here? So I think I'm gonna do let's see, what do I want to do first? I think I'm gonna do either the lottery first or we can go over the teams. I think the lottery would make more sense to do first. So this year we have 12 teams instead of 14 because someone doesn't want to join the league anymore because he knew that he just thought he had a target on his back when there was just no such thing. But you know, it's okay. We can deal with 12 teams. I think it's just easier for everyone. As you can tell, Dan, Isaac, Griffin, his dad. We do have a dad in this league. With the other people being the usual, with Noah, Marshall coming back for their second year. The originals: Juan, Dylan, Steven, Jack, and Jacob. We are going to do 12 teams instead, which I believe is better. Let's just send the notification out that we're live. Okay. I think 12 teams. I mean, 14 teams wasn't bad last year, but it was just. I think we had a couple inactives, and it just. I just remember there was a lot of drama last year, and a lot of people didn't want to deal with it whenever I started, getting past it, moving on from it, and then they just didn't want to, continue on. But it's okay. I'll be fine with 12 teams as long as there's no drama. And I believe in this league we don't have any of them. Any of the drama queens in this league, so I'm happy to announce that. Let's see. Let's go to. Let me go ahead and put the names on the people for the spinner. So you know how we're gonna do a little different spinner right now. I just want to switch it up. Got tired of the last one. It was bad. It's just a new era, so we're gonna go ahead and do, I guess, the lottery first. Isaac, we're gonna do how we usually do it. Whoops. 3 names per person. Marshall. Dan. And Jeff, Griffin. Jeez, I can't type today. Griffin, Jack. Holy shit, dude. There's no way. Noah, my computer is overheating. What is going on? Jacob. One. Dylan. Steven. And Jared. Okay, that's everyone. All right. Can you put all of our names into some game? I don't know what that means. Okay. So spinner, and then so whoever gets spinned on first will get the worst position to get. Even though it's not guaranteed that you will get the last pick, but that's just you have the highest chance of being the last pick. Really, you're not gonna be able to get it. Make sure I'm not forgetting anything. Who's this Brad guy? Hold on, let me take this dude's. There you go. There you go, Brad. All right, yeah, we're good. Let's do a first spin. Let's see who gets the worst odds at the number one pick. Marshall. Congratulations. Remove all instances. What does that mean? Is that all, Marshall? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Oh, wow. It moved all of Marshall. Wow. That helps me very much so I don't have to do it once at a time. All right. Second time go around. Oh, almost Dylan. But Steven, you have the second worst odds. Juan, you have the third worst odds. I don't know if y'all can hear the sound, but there's claps after each spin. You know, if you did the names once, it would be the same amount of space. True. I probably should have done. Yeah, it just adds character. Noah. No. Okay. Please don't tell me I forgot a name. I'm doing this. I'm like triple tasking right now. Griffin. Griffin. So there should be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 people left. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Perfect. I'm not fucking up yet. Isaac. I wonder if Isaac knows he's still in this league. I should probably tell him. The draft lottery's happening right now. Just because you are placed in the middle doesn't mean you don't have a chance. It's possible for anyone to get the first pick. If you can get the first pick, that's the worst odds. It's just very, very unlikely. Dylan, you have 7th best odds to get number one pick. Okay, yeah, I think that's right, man. Yeah, okay. So now there's 1, 2, 3, 4 people left, and they all start with the letter J. Jeff. Alright, so there's 3 people left. and it's the originals. Oh, it's my name. Oh no. Guess I don't get the number 1 pick. Or will I? Alright, Jacob and Jack. The peanut gallery is going off right now. Thank you, Brad Morgan and Kyron. Jeff said he's taking Amon-Ra if he gets first pick. Jeez. Wow, Jack. Looks like you have the highest chance to get the number 1 pick. So this is the odds, the weighted order. Alright, now let's get to the draft results for King's Dynasty. We're going to talk about what happened in the last 6 rounds of the draft. And oh, I'm joking. Okay. So let's do out of order, like I always like to do it. So I would project number 1 pick. Let's see who can go number 1. I think it's pretty clear who would be number 1. I'm looking at this running back named Christian McCaffrey because he sucks, but everyone likes him, so he'd probably go number 1. So we're gonna spoil this dude's dreams. We're gonna go number 2 first. Griffin, you have the number 2 pick. Congratulations, everyone! Give a round of applause for Griffin. He gets the number 2 pick. Let's see. Who else? Who else's dreams should I just spoil right now? Let's think here. Let's go like 7. Let's go 7. 7. Jacob, you have picked 7. Congratulations. Let's go, Jacob. Alright. So I project Griffin. I mean, I don't know, you're a Lions fan. You might get Amon-Ra St. Brown, you know? You might get Amon-Ra. And then, let's see, Jacob, that's like Bijan territory right there. If you wanted to get Bijan, you get Bijan there. Let's do number 11. Let's just get this guy out of the way. Isaac, you had to pick number 11, even though you had like pretty high odds to get number 1. Dang, this is why I like this website here, because it just fucks with everyone's odds. It's amazing. Yep, looks like Jahmyr Gibbs is going number 2. What a wow. That's crazy. Alright, let's go with, I guess, 4. Jacob's saying 4, so we'll go 4. That's Noah's pick. Number 4 is Noah. Congratulations, Noah. Let's get a round of applause for that. Who else? Let's just do, I think I'm going to do 1 last. That's always last. 12th second to last. So we got to go with number 3. That's Dylan. Dylan, a round of applause for you for pick number 3. For me personally, I like it later. So JT or Justin Jefferson. I believe Justin Jefferson will be going in the top 5. So I don't believe he will be there. Jonathan Taylor. Maybe. He might be there. I don't know. 9. Marshall, I think, had the... let me pull up the draft last year so I know who had what last year. 23, draft recap. Alright, so I had pick number 2. Noah had the first pick last year. Jacob had pick 5. Who's... that's Tyreek Blinders. It wasn't that... No, that was Lucas. Juan had pick 7. Dylan had pick 9, so he's finally top 3. That's what he's always wanted. Marshall had pick 10, so pick 9's better, I guess, in the same position. Jack had pick 13. Brad, whenever he had time on his hands and he wasn't a celebrity and he had time to be with his friends in a league that everyone had fun playing with, he had the last pick. And then, who else am I missing? Oh, Steven had pick 12, so let's do pick 12 now. Oh, wait, no, pick 10. I have pick 10. That's crazy. I had the third best odds, and I get the 3rd worst pick. Let's do 6 and 5. Jack and Steven have 6 and 5. Jack's probably gonna go Tyreek there. If I'm being honest, that's probably a good pick to do. I don't know. This hasn't happened yet. And then let's see. So we have 1, 8, and 12. So let's do the obvious here. Jeff has pick 8. Does Jeff know he's still in this league? Like, I don't know. I haven't really had any talks with him or with Griffin about if he knows he's still in this league or not. But Griffin, you do have way higher chances of getting who you want over your dad. And I guess if Amon-Ra is still there, you get Amon-Ra. Pick 12. So who do we have left? Who do we have left? I don't even know who we have left. Oh, Dan. Dang, it's number 1 again, bro. There's no way. Dan, and then, who am I missing here? Steven? No, Steven's there. Giant Losers. Is that Juan? Oh, Juan's still alive. Okay, so Juan and Dan. All right, let's see. Who should I go first? Let's go number 12. Juan, you have picked 12, which means Dan once again has the fucking number 1 pick in my league. Oh my goodness, that is ridiculous. Okay, so this is the draft order. Let me set it up real quick so that I can not worry about it later on. And then this is the order that everyone knows. So take a good screenshot of it so you can remember and I don't get spammed. What are the freaking picks? What are the picks? What are the picks? What are the picks? So Dan the man, you are number 1. Griffin, you are number 2. Dylan, you are number 3. Noah is number 4. Steven is number 5. Jack, you are number 6. Jacob's number 7. Jeff's 8. Marshall's 9. Marshall's 9. I'm 10. Isaac's 11 and Juan's 12. That's crazy. Alright. Save changes. Alright, draft order set. Now we can talk about King's Dynasty. Brad, since you are here currently, maybe you left, I don't know. What are the picks? Okay. What the heck? Here is your team. If Brad is still here. This is what happened to your team, man. They ruined it. They got rid of Jonathan Taylor. They got rid of... Well, Kyron and Noah did some damage to your team. But they traded Jonathan Taylor for Travis Kelce and DeAndre Hopkins, which was kind of a stupid trade. But, you know, I don't make the rules here. And then, let's see. He did get Malik Neighbors. I guess you get Kirk Cousins as well as a backup quarterback. I don't know if that really matters. But, yeah, that's what happened to your team. And let's go with my team first because that's what I had the first pick. So I had draft picks of... Where is... Oh, this way. Three picks in the first round. And then I had 2 in the second and then 1 in the fourth, which I drafted a absolute steal in Jermaine Burton. The fact that he was still available blows my mind, but once T. Higgins is gone, I'll live happily ever after. Okay, so obviously the first pick was Marvin Harrison Jr. I don't think any other person in the right mind would go anywhere else. He's determined to be one of the best wide receivers in the league. I'd probably put him at top 10, even if he has a good year. But, you know, it's okay. Let's see. I got Marvin Harrison, Kyle Pitts, which was traded for Jonathan Brooks because Steven auto-drafted. And I was told that Jonathan Brooks would go 3rd overall. Was lied to. Should have known. There's some untruthers here in this league. So I traded the 6th pick away And then I could have had Jonathan Brooks by myself without risking anything else. And then I got Brian Thomas, who I believe is the next. Who's a good wide receiver? Freaking Justin Jefferson. He can be pretty damn good. I believe Christian Kirk is like a guy who you don't want playing alongside with, but I believe that Trevor Lawrence would be able to pass the ball. I don't know how good I think their offensive line is a lot better than what Cincinnati or Minnesota's was for LSU wide receivers. So in the NFL. And then I got Chase Brown, who is projected to be the starting running back. I still think that's a good, like, 1A, 1B, but I think it just determines how they're going to play, and if Joe Burrow's healthy. Jamar Chase or something? Dude, Jamar Chase and Jay Jetta are in the same league. Like, they're literally the same player. They're both very good. And then Josh Downs, and then I drafted Jermaine Burton, who is going to be the WR2 for Cincinnati. All right, that is an easy. Oh, I don't even have my notes. Let's get the notes app ready. Let's do that, and let's get rid of that. So draft grades. For me, obviously, I did what I could. Marvin Harrison himself should give you an A. But I'll be nice. Kyle Pitts, I think. I've at like 9 pick. I didn't know who to get. I knew I didn't need to get Brian Thomas because Ben auto-drafted, so I waited. If I didn't draft Kyle Pitts, I wouldn't have Kyle Pitts. T. Higgins does exist, but he doesn't have an extension, so he's going to be gone after next season. But then again, I guess it depends if I even keep Burton or not. I don't know. So I just drafted Kyle Pitts. Knew that would be the best case scenario for me to trade for Jonathan Brooks because, like, they're both young and they're both really good. So, that perfect choice. I would say that's about an A- draft. I am only judging you on the final 6 rounds, not your keepers. I do not care about your keepers. So if you didn't draft in the first 3 rounds, I think that's a couple guys that have happened. Your picks, your draft grade might get affected. Give him an F automatically. Yeah, Noah's team is not getting an F. I think Noah auto drafted. He wasn't even at the draft. He was there and then he disappears. I don't know what happened there. But that is actually who's next. Let's go to Noah's team real quick. So Noah's team is already stacked with starters. I mean, he's just drafting people that he probably won't play unless someone gets injured. Oh, D-Hop, probably. Malik Neighbors obviously was the solid second overall pick, mainly because he's, like, good. Who else did he draft? He drafted. Let's see. He didn't draft. So he drafted in the first round and then didn't draft until the 4th round. He got Darnell Mooney. Then he drafted Marshawn Lloyd. And then Kirk Cousins and Kendrick Bourne. And you got Jalen Tolbert. That is an L pick. Justice for my team. You know, Brad, that's super ironic you say that because you had the opportunity to save the team, or not just save it, just join back, and you decided not to. You decided not to come back because this is your ego and this is a normal person's ego. All right, you see how high it is compared to a normal person. You just gotta understand. I had never had a target on your back. Just never cared. So the only reason why this person had a bad draft was because I think Kyron would deal the draft picks. So for some reason he traded Jonathan Taylor in like a third or second, I don't know, for Travis Kelce and DeAndre Hopkins, which makes no sense to me. And then he traded with Griffin. Kyron traded with Griffin, He traded who did you have? Wait, no, that's yeah, no, yeah. Who did I can't remember what that trade was, but um dude, it was a stupid trade. I don't know if it hurt Noah more, but he traded a young player for DeAndre Hopkins, and I don't remember who that young player was. Griffin would know because he's on his team right now. So let me check. Or no, wait, it was with Jacob. That's right. Never mind. I'm tripping. I'm tripping. I'm tripping. I'm tripping. I'm tripping. I'm tripping. Okay. Yeah, he traded Quentin Johnson for um, he traded Quentin Johnson for DeAndre Hopkins. That was between Jacob and Griffin, and then that's when Kyron traded Jonathan Taylor for Hopkins and Kelsey. So yeah, that's what happened. So yeah, the draft picks kind of hurt him because he had three last round picks and got Kirk Cousins, Kendrick Bourne, and Jalen Tolbert, who is just an absolute useless player. I don't believe why he would be projected 8.2 points. He'd probably get maybe 5. Marshawn Lloyd, I do believe, is a good pick because the Packers, um, they have Josh. I don't know if Josh Jacobs signed a full deal with them, but um, I don't believe he's as good as he said he was. So this draft itself is like, it's literally just Malik Neighbors and then a bunch of others. So I'd probably give it like a C for Noah. Not his fault, obviously, because the trades made before he took ownership of the team. So not his fault. All right, let's go with Griffin. Griffin's team now. So Griffin I would say he made way better trades. We know who's getting the number 1 pick next year. Wow. So Griffin, I would say, made some pretty decent trades. I think the only trade that really hurt him. Wait. Well, yeah, it was Quentin Johnson because that dude is not good. He traded Jamison Williams for someone. I can't remember who it was, but that was. Well, yeah, Tank Dell and Jamison Williams for Tyreek Hill. I don't like that trade, but that was whatever. Um, yeah, so he had the number 3 overall pick. He had the chance to go with Jonathan Brooks or Keon Coleman. He took Keon Coleman. That's what he was rumored to take. I think I don't really see Keon Coleman being the number 3 in that draft class. I really think that Odunze or Worley would be better. Even McConkey could be better than Coleman. But for how thin the wide receiver room is for Buffalo, I think it makes more sense to take Keon Coleman. So I don't think it's a bad pick. But your wide receivers are very stacked. So I mean, you do have Gabe Davis. So that's probably why your team was ranked F, because you have Gabe Davis and Quinn Johnston, and then you had Cade Otton as your tight end. So that's why your team was ranked pretty shitty. Adonai Mitchell, I was hoping to get him in the second round because he went to UT. Obviously, I wanted to get all my UT guys, but they were all taken. Adonai Mitchell has a chance to be the number 1 wide receiver for Indianapolis. Odunze is the third option, but Keenan Allen's gonna play like maybe 1 year, and then he'll probably be done. DJ Moore, obviously, yeah, I guess he's like the main guy there, but if Caleb Williams has that people say he is, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Like, he'll throw to anyone. Like, it doesn't matter. Adonai Mitchell is a very good wide receiver. Unfortunately, you don't really need wide receivers, which is tough because you have a really good wide receiver room. But, James Cook, Javonte Williams. I mean, apparently Javonte Williams is back to an actual running back condition. That's what I've heard. He's had a good camp so far. The thing is, and he's I think 2 years off from recovering from an ACL, and it's the rule. Like, you don't draft a running back who is a year away from injuring his ACL because they just won't be good. But I think, let's see, who did you get? So first round you got Keon Coleman. In the second round you had 2 picks. You had Adonai Mitchell and Javonte Williams. So you had to address your running back, which is good. I guess he was the best choice there. I think you could have gone Chase Brown, maybe Zach Charbonnet, but then again, he's splitting time, or he's like the handcuff. And then you had Jaden Daniels, so you did get a backup quarterback. Oh, okay. I never got the backup quarterback. I don't know, but That's good that you addressed it. And then you got. Bro, why the hell did you just text me here, bro? Like, what the heck? How do you text me on a live stream? Tyrone Tracy Jr. He might be the um man, dude, that running back, that whole team itself is a mess, but he might be good. I don't know. That's a Juan take right there. Like, he might know who he is more than I do. Then you got Tyler Conklin. Obviously, you need to get a backup tight end. You see, what you did is you got all the backups for your starters, which is very good. Just unfortunate that your starters were Quentin Johnson and Gabe Davis at the time, so you had to draft basically for your starters. But I think you did very good at yourself because you had good positions where you drafted. I do believe you had a way better draft than Noah, so I think a B itself would be good for you. Hey buddy, keep that between you and me, thanks. How do you text me while on stream and I see hey buddy again? Like, I'm gonna say something when it interrupts my live stream sesh. All right. 4th overall pick was Stan. Okay, so how do I address Stan's team correctly? So Stan's had the same team for the past 3 years and has done absolutely nothing with it. He had a lot of good keepers that were going to be free agents. So he lost Deontay Johnson, then drafted Deontay Johnson in the 2nd round. And then he kept Njigba and Harris. Who else did he lose? He lost someone else. I can't remember who he lost. That was pretty good. J.K. Dobbins. That's right. And then let's see. So he drafted for the future, which to me doesn't make any sense because he has a lot of people who are just basically on their last leg, dude. Like, he's kept the same team and has finished in the bottom 5 for the past 2 years. So he's lucky he got Puka. I think Puka was the luckiest pick. Did he pick him or did he draft him? I can't remember if he picked him up or drafted him. But he's lucky he has Puka to start off with the rebuild. And then he's got young guys, but Mixon, Barkley, Johnson, Kittle are all in their final stages of their careers to being like good. So if he doesn't trade them soon, he's not going to be able to do anything, because if he doesn't do good this year, then he'll have the same results as the past 2 years. So I guess that's what happens when you have a good team but just do nothing with it. And I think a lot of people knew who Puka was. I remember I heard I seen some things about Puka that he was like really good in camp, and like I should have done something about it. I think it's also when I don't know. But I did pick him up in the Madden Curse league, which is why it was so good. But and Jigba is really good. He's supposed to have a way better year this year. I think it's hoping they have a new OC, I think, and they do a lot better with slot wide receivers, and that's what he plays. Odunze, I mean, if Keenan Allen, I guess what Brad said earlier, if Keenan Allen gets hurt, he's the number 2 option. And then you have DeAndre Swift, Cole Kmet, and then Gerald Everett, who is irrelevant, but that's okay. Odunze could have a good year. But you're looking at it again, and it's like, so now he has to either choose between Deontay Johnson and Jigba, Odunze, Najee Harris, T. Higgins. Like, he might not keep those guys. Because if he likes Joe Mixon so much because he went to OU, and he's not going to drop Barkley, he might not drop Stevenson. So he stands in the same thing. Like, if he doesn't make any moves, he's going to have to drop some key players. And for the next year's draft, we're going to have another 2 players for the first round that were dropped. So let's see. You got Odunze first round, Johnson second round, Jalen Wright, who is in a compacted running back room with Miami. That's a pick not made for this year, and your team is definitely better than someone's. Griffin, I mean, looking at his team, man, you could definitely beat him. I don't know if y'all play each other. Let's see. Do you play each other? You do. You pay him in week 5. You can definitely take this dude down. Um, so he drafted players in this draft that for like dynasty wise. So his team's not made for that right now. So he needs to make some. I think he needs to make moves like ASAP, or else his team just won't be good. Or he'll just screw himself. I don't know. But that's Stan. Okay, his draft grade for his team, I'd probably give him like a C plus. I mean, he drafted good players, but they're not going to benefit his team whatsoever. Why does it keep doing that? Okay, who's next? Oh, Sal. So Sal, aka Seth's replacement, he has done. It's like the presidency, you know. He has done so much more than what the last guy could have done, but did not. You know. You know. So Sal started off with making a trade with his family, because who else are they gonna fucking trade with? The Lacurdos. This is how the Lacurdos work. All right. If one person needs something, he's gonna contact this guy, and if another person needs something, they're gonna contact this guy. They work in a triangle. And that's how the Tony Pollard trade worked out. That's how the past trades in the past. The Mike Evans trade, no, that's not the trade that happened with him. Devontae Adams, Chris Godwin, they got AJ Brown. They always do bailout trades, but then when we talk to them about trading, they like try to screw us over. They just inflate their prices with players. Like if I wanted to trade for Chris Godwin, I probably would have had to give up a first round pick, but Chris Godwin was given up along with Devontae Adams, they are basically the same player, Devontae and AJ, but Devontae's in a worse situation. Yeah, and then he got Mike Williams, and then Jack gave up. Yeah, they all work together. That trade, like that was just ridiculous. But whatever. If it didn't bother anyone else, I guess it didn't bother me. But that's just how the Lacurdos work, you know. So Sal drafted Xavier Worthy. That was probably a really good pick. I didn't honestly think that Sal or Stan were gonna go for rookie wide receivers in the first round. I thought they were actually gonna choose like players that were like top tier, like Kyle Pitts or Jonathan Brooks, who was still available too, but I guess they went wide receiver instead. And looking at Sal's team, he most definitely needs a running back, because Devin Singletary as your RB2 is insane, absolutely insane. I don't care if he has a starting position, and then for the Giants, I don't care if he had a good year last year. He himself will not have a good year. I'm doubling down right now, or not doubling down. I am saying this right now. Devin Singletary will have a shitty booty juice year. All right, Josh Jacobs. I mean, he's on a way better team than he was last year, so there's a chance that he could have a really good year. It depends. I don't know how they utilize the running backs really pass for Aaron Jones and A.J. Dillon. They did a pretty good job, but I don't know. Jacoby Myers, Devontae Adams, having that stack right there, not the best, but you're lucky that you have Worthy and Leggett and Samuel. So Xavier Leggett can easily be a top 15 wide. He's pretty damn good. Like what I've seen, I really wanted him. I was gonna draft him in the second round or something. I can't remember. He was drafted a pick before me in round 11. I was gonna get either Leggett or Mitchell, but I got Chase Brown, which I guess worked out for me because I needed a running back at that time. But this is another team that, like, if their team isn't good, they need to rebuild. And they're lucky that they have key pieces with Worthy, Leggett, mean, Mike Williams? Are you kidding me, bro? No. I mean, he's got rookie wide receivers that are pretty damn good, so he could easily rebuild if he wanted to. But this could be a bottom tier team. Draft wise, I mean, then you get Aaron Rodgers. And, like, I guess Lamar, and that's not going to matter. He drafted good players. I would say give him like a B minus. I guess I don't know why I keep doing that. I think Worthy and Legit and Curtis Samuel, who's going to be a top Bills wide receiver / running back for that team, is going to be very good. He got, let's see, Worthy, first round, second round, Legit, third round, Curtis Samuel, fourth round, Aaron Rodgers, fifth round, Demario Douglas, in the last round, Demarcus Robinson, who I've heard could be good, but I don't know, maybe not. Okay, so Sal got what did he get again? A B minus. Overall good draft is because Xavier Worthy carried and Legit, but I don't know if I'm saying his name right or not. Okay, next is Jake. Well, yeah, Jacob. It would be Jacob, right? Yeah. Next is Jacob. So Jacob had already a stacked team itself. You could say that he drafted good in the first year. You say he get traded good. I mean, for Bijan, CMC, Rashad White, he traded for. Drafted Ayuk, Lamb, traded for Brown. I don't remember that trade between Jack and Jacob for Marquise Brown. But then you got Tajay Spears. He got from John. But he got one first round pick, and then the rest should have been like way later picks. He traded all his picks. So you got the round 12 pick from Noah or Kyron for that Jonathan Taylor trade, and drafted Rashid Shaheed, which I don't believe he's a good target, but if he's ranked this high and he did. I don't even think he's that good, but I guess development of another year, And they got the backup running back for the Cowboys, wide receiver 2 for the Cowboys, wide receiver 3 for the Ravens, and then wide receiver 4 for the Buccaneers. I mean, obviously, like, if you trade all your draft picks, you're not going to have anything past your starters. So he's lucky that he got Ladd McConkey, and then he's got the 1B for the Tennessee Titans with Tajay Spears. I would say if injuries happen, his team could be screwed. I would say you have to hope that Shaheed does work out. I don't really trust New Orleans passing. I don't really trust. Who is it? Derek Carr still? No. I think Chris Olave would have a way better year and take all the targets. But that team, they don't have a lot of people to pass to, so he could have a good year. Brandon Cooks, I mean, he would have somewhat of like decent games. Like these games would come out of nowhere. But it's also against weak secondaries. Overall, the other games, he did absolutely nothing. Rico Dowdle, if Dallas trusted Rico Dowdle to be the running back 1, they wouldn't have re-signed Zeke or signed Zeke. They probably would have kept it Dowdle, or maybe drafted someone. I don't know. They didn't draft anyone. He hasn't really shown that he can be the starting running back on that team. That running game itself is going to be a mess. They're going to pass the ball way more than run it. That's clear to see. So having CeeDee Lamb and Jake Ferguson is good. Talking because Zeke can get hurt. Yeah, I guess he could, but I don't know how much damage that could do. Rashad Bateman, I've heard that he's been a lot better lately. Didn't do much last year, but that's also because I think he was hurt a lot. He could have a good year, but I think we've been saying that for like 3 years now, and he has done absolutely nothing with it. I can't remember if they have a new coach, offensive coordinator or not, but yeah, he's been an iffy player. And Jalen McMillan, I don't know enough about him to say anything about him. What college did he go to? He went to Washington. I do know this guy. This guy did one good play against Texas and then nothing else. So yeah, I mean he could be good. I mean the Washington wide receivers were pretty damn good last year. So I mean, and then with Chris Godwin, Mike Evans aging, it's a good investment. But looking at your team, you're not going to be tanking this year. So I don't know. That's an investment you need to probably move. So, but overall, with the picks that you were given, I have to grade it on that because you only had one first rounder, and then others were like way later. And I don't like any really of the players that you had, so I'd probably give you like a C as well, just because you have one really good player, and the rest were just no BS. Um. All right, who is next? Dylan. Alrighty. Okay, so he had all his draft picks, so in the normal position. So he drafted Trey Benson. So there was rumors going on that Jacob would take Trey Benson with his 6th overall pick. That's what I was told. That's what Dylan was told. And then when they saw that this guy named Lad McConkey got taken over Trey Benson, and I was like, you know what? Why am I not surprised? Because there was rumors that the 6th pick would have gotten moved because he was threatened to take Trey Benson, and Dylan is a Arizona Cardinals fan, so it would make sense to trade up, but I don't remember what the exact offer was. I don't think it was a good offer for Dylan. Oh, it was also to trade Jaden Reed away, which was stupid. That wouldn't have made any sense. So, yeah, I would have traded. I'm glad that Dylan did end up getting Trey Benson. I don't know how much utilization he would get this year. Um, James Conner's he's coming off like his best year last year, I would say. I mean, he stayed healthy. He didn't have any problems. I think he was hurt for like a couple games, but he stayed healthy for the most part and did pretty good. Trey Benson he is pretty damn good. Like, he looks like he would probably kill someone right there. Like, that's a mugshot if you could. Like, he wants to kill someone. He's definitely gonna be really good in the NFL. Like, I believe that he could be a top running back very soon. But as long as James Conner is on the same team with him, I don't see that happening right now. But Trey Benson is an excellent first rounder. Then he drafted Jalen Polk, who is another Washington wide receiver. He is pretty good on a team that doesn't have a bona fide WR1 because that team is pretty stinky. I think Polk can easily do the number 1 overall wide receiver job. Drake May, I don't know who the starting. I don't know if it's Drake May or they have some other quarterback right now. But if it's Drake May, then that's good. And if not, it's not. So yeah, that's a good pick to choose. Craven, you're not even in the league. Why are you saying that? Jalen Polk, and then you went Chuba Hubbard. So going off on, you don't draft people who are a year. He's not even a year off. He's like 9 months off from an ACL tear. So Chuba Hubbard can have an easy opportunity of taking touches in Carolina from Jonathan Brooks because he's not even a year off from his ACL tear. Jonathan Brooks tore his ACL in November. It's August. It's barely just turned August. So I don't see Jonathan Brooks being that bona fide starter yet. So I think Hubbard has just as a good opportunity to be a good running back. So good pick there in the 3rd round. Michael Wilson, I mean, that team outside of Trey McBride and Marvin Harrison, that team could be they can get receptions. Michael Wilson's a good choice there. Roman Wilson, I don't know. I don't know enough. I don't even know what college Roman Wilson went to. Notre Dame? Is that Notre Dame? Michigan. Yeah, I don't know enough about him. I don't know if that's a good pick, but I guess you drafted him in the second to last round, so that's not bad. And then you got Noah Fant, so you needed a backup tight end because Evan Engram, who's very good. Yeah, I mean, overall, I think you had a really good draft. I think you did a good job of not screwing yourself by trading away Jaden Reed to move up one draft pick in the first round. Michael Wilson can be good. He's had flashes last year where he can be very good, as you could tell. But now that Marvin Harrison's here, it depends. So depends on. And now you have a fully healthy Kyler Murray, who will be hopefully playing the full season. So I mean, the Cardinals could be a good team. It just really depends on the coaching. Overall, I'd say your draft grade could be I would say I give it a B minus. I think we don't know how good Trey Benson could be this year. Jalen Polk could be good, but on that team, you don't know. Chuba Hubbard, split time. Michael Wilson, yeah, But I think that's a generous grade that I'm giving you, but who knows what could happen to that team. Also, stay tuned towards the end. I'm going to make a crazy, out-of-nowhere projection on the finishing of the results of the year, at the end of the year. I'm just going to put who's going to finish where, and then we'll come back to it at the end and see how that worked out. All right, next is Steven. So Steven auto-drafted, obviously, because when does he ever draft? So he drafted Jonathan Brooks. Oh, no, not him. ESPN drafted Jonathan Brooks because that was the top available person. Then they drafted Ezekiel Elliott, second round. Gus Edwards, third round. So he's just got a bunch of running backs, and that's basically what his team is. Then he's got Kendre Miller, Antonio Gibson, and Alexander Mattison, bro. Oh my God, bro. He just drafted running backs. Oh my goodness. So his team itself was already fucking screwed. So he should be lucky that he traded Jonathan Brooks away for a tight end, which he himself does not need because he has Pat Freiermuth and Cole Kmet. So this draft itself is horrible. It's terrible. Austin Eckler, Brian Robinson is destined to be very, very good this year. I think Brian Robinson can be a top 10 running back if he chooses so with that new quarterback. Austin Eckler is a good 1B, but having a down year from last year, who knows? Calvin Ridley, McLaurin, he's got good young players, but then again, it's like, dude, if you aren't good this year, trade them away. But that's what I'm telling you. This is a dynasty league. If you aren't destined to win at all, you have good players like Calvin Ridley, Austin Eckler, Terry McLaurin. They're having good seasons. You trade them away for assets. That's how dynasty leagues should work. That's how they do it every year. That's how in real life, trade them away for assets. That's how it works. Pacheco obviously is your RB2 over Eckler. He's destined to have probably a breakout year compared to last year, and he had a really good year last year. So, he's good. And these are just, Kendre Miller already hurt. The coach is worried that he might not stay healthy this year, so, his team, I don't know. This draft is horrible. This might be the first F I've ever seen in my life. Just drafting running backs. Even though it's not Steven's fault, I'm going to do this. Just because he gets an F, I have to put that it was all auto draft, so I have to do that. But he does get an F because he only drafted running backs. So, that's tough. All right. Moving on, we got Jack. Jack is a player who traded all his draft picks as well for players, win now players. So let's look at his team. His first draft pick was in the 3rd round. He drafted Ricky Purcell, which is a good person to have if Brandon Ayuk was traded. Unfortunately, he was not traded, so that's tough. That's the only thing that you should have were hoping for. Tyreek Hill, AJ Brown. I mean, that's a solid wide receiver room. I mean, that's crazy. Zach Moss could lose the starting job. I know I think it's 1A, 1B, but Zach Moss could be like a handcuff or a handcuff plus. It's kind of like how I do my ratings for running backs. It just really depends on what they do. We don't know yet. I mean, Chase Brown has shown that he is way better than Zach Moss, but they might like the duos. They didn't really do that last year with Mixon, so they might stick to one guy later on in the season. Kenneth Walker, obviously, we all thought that Kenneth Walker would be affected by Zach Charbonnet because we all thought that Zach Charbonnet was going to do something. You know, he was good and stuff, but whenever Walker was hurt last year, Charbonnet didn't do nothing with the starting job. So I don't think that Walker is in any danger of losing his starting job. So Jack got lucky with that. Drake London, he's destined to have a good year. For redrafts, his price is too high for me, so I would not be drafting him in the 3rd round. He could have a good year. I mean, he actually has a quarterback this year, a better coach, so I mean, he could definitely have a breakout year. Mark Andrews, we know how he is. He's always a top 3 tight end. May not be top 3 this year. I mean, he could have a down year this year. I think last year was a down year because he got hurt. But he may not. He might have a healthy down year, in my opinion. I don't know. It depends. Christian Kirk, no more Calvin Ridley. He took all those fucking catches. He's destined to have a really good year this year, along with Brian Thomas Jr. I would say he could be good, and then it depends on the quarterback because the quarterback is iffy. Nico Collins is the bona fide wide receiver 1 for the Texans. I don't think it's Diggs. I don't think it's Tank Dell. I think it's Nico Collins. I think he's really good. I think he'd have a better year than 285. So good for Jack for having him still. His backups I'm not really too entertained with it. I think he only drafted McCaffrey because that's his last name. Malachi Corley. So I have an issue with, like, who is this? Who is this Malachi Corley? I've never heard this guy in my life. Let's read about him. Let's read about this dude. Consistent productivity at Western Kentucky, particularly excelling in creating yards after the catch. Despite his smaller stature, he is what, 5'10"? What is he? He's a smaller statue, so how tall is he? Malachi Corley. All right. Malachi Corley. Whoops. He's 5'11". Okay. I don't know if you really want that for a receiver, so he's going to be in the slot. His thick frame allowed him to navigate through defenses effectively. However, concerns arise regarding his play style being more akin to a running back than a traditional receiver. Coupled with doubts about the Jets' offensive creativity, Corley's potential may be limited in their system. Despite being a 3rd-round pick, I'd exercise caution in investing in him for fantasy purposes. So obviously this is a clear investment, as well with Purcell. Jack is another one of those teams that he's probably not going to tank this year, so he needs a depthy bench, and he doesn't have that. Troy Franklin, let's read about Troy Franklin. He got that guy in the 4th round as well. Troy Franklin, he came from Oregon, so he has chemistry with Bo Nix. Despite concerns about his slender frame at 6'3" and 183 pounds, he's rumored 4.35 second 40-yard dash underscores his potential as a top-tier Receiver in early breakout age, drafted early in round 4 by the Broncos after a disappointing combine. Franklin finds a favorable matchup under Sean Payton, who has a history of trading up for wide receivers, positioned to play the Z role previously held by Jerry Jeudy. And Jerry Jeudy was pretty shitty for the Denver Broncos. I don't know how good of a situation he really is in. Jaleel McLaughlin, yeah, I've heard he's been good. The whole, like, Denver, Dallas, who else? It just has a really shitty running back room. Like, it's just a mess. I'm not too high on McLaughlin. Tyler Boyd, new team, new quarterback. Who knows? They just lost Hopkins. They don't have Traylon Burks. He sucks. Who else? I don't even know who else went to Tennessee. I guess Tyler Boyd is a good pick, but I don't know if he's starting material or backup material. Luke McCaffrey for the last pick of the draft. That was definitely a pick that you drafted because of his last name. He had a okay senior year. I remember he was at BYU. He was decent. So apparently another NFL draft cycle crush has crept into redraft system. He flashed big time in the Senior Bowl and Mobile, and then he opened a ton of eyes during his athletic testing. He had a 4.46 40 time and a 96 percentile JD score. It's pretty good. Last year against 111th, he ranked 6th in receiving grade and 28th in YPRR against zone. Would you want him on your team? McCaffrey is a magnificent dart to toss in as many drafts as possible. So yeah, with the last pick, obviously McCaffrey. That's a clear dart shot. I'd probably do, just because you're your position. I think you did the same as Jacob. I think you do C- because Jacob had a first round pick. You didn't. Actually, no, that's a D. That's a D. Never mind. I'm tripping. Yeah, I don't really see the players that you drafted for that benefit your team that much. I mean, they're all darts that you just shot and hope that they hit. I don't see them doing much this year, so you're probably not going to keep them. All right, so who's next? Who is next? Ben auto-drafted his whole team as well. Whoops. Might be. I'm not going to spend too much time on him. So he got he got Dak Prescott, Tyler Lockett, TJ Hawkinson, Tyler Algier, Marvin Mims, and Deshaun Watson. Yeah, I'm not going into too much detail about his draft, but seeing that, it's a D-. Next, Juan, you were up next. Juan didn't draft until the 3rd round, I believe. Oh, 2nd round. He had a 2nd round pick. Never mind. I thought he traded that away. Okay, so let's see. So you got Zach Charbonnet. Oh, he had a 3rd rounder. Okay. J.K. Dobbins, Khalil Shakir, Romeo Dobbs. Dang, you have 3 3rd rounders. Damn. Tua Tagovailoa, and Wan'Dale Robinson, who could have easily a good year. I mean, that's a decent draft in my opinion. You know, you're not gonna have Nick Chubb, I would say, at all this year. Top tier Nick Chubb, you're not gonna have at all. Nick Chubb will be. He's already projected to not play in the first, I would say, 4 weeks of the season. He's aged. ACL is a very serious injury, and the older you are, the worse it gets for you. I would just say you are lucky to have J.K. Dobbins, or I've drafted another running back that's starter material, but can you even trust J.K. Dobbins? Well, as you can tell, he only played one game last year. And before that, I don't even think he played at all last season. So, um, that's why rather much have Chase Brown over J.K. Dobbins. I'd rather have Zach Charbonnet over J.K. Dobbins, which you did choose. I'd rather go Chuba over J.K. I'd rather go probably Gus Edwards, but they both got hurt last year, so I don't know. I don't know. I probably would have looked wide receiver. I know that you wanted to get younger for running backs because you have old ass running backs, which is good because that does benefit you a little bit. But and then I like the Shakir, Dobbs, Rondell Robinson. I like Tua. I like he's a good quarterback. I traded Tua for Devon Achane, and he went off for me. That's crazy. I think this is a much better draft than the past two I've seen, so I would probably give you a B minus. I think that's a pretty decent draft. I don't like J.K. Dobbins at all, but that wasn't your first pick. It was second. I mean, Zach Charbonnet is not guaranteed to be good this year. Just as long as Kenneth Walker is healthy, Zach Charbonnet isn't startable, in my opinion. Dobbs, Shakir could be very good startable options. J.K. Dobbins, if he makes it past week 1 of the regular season, there's hope. That's all I got to say about him. Monday Robinson, I feel like he'd have a really good year this year. I mean, there's no one really besides Malik Neighbors on that team that catch passes. They just lost their tight end. The backup didn't get drafted here, so I'm assuming he's not that good. You know, that team itself is just a mess, and that's why I want to stay away from Giants players. But I think overall you had a pretty decent draft. So we're going to go off with the last team. Allen Comeback Kid, who was the winner last year. Got lucky with Cooper Kupp because of Lucas, who is a dumbass. Who was a dumbass with that team. He got Garrett Wilson and Trey McBride for just Travis Kelce and Tyjae Spears. Thinking about it now, that's a crazy trade to make. Garrett Wilson has a chance to be a top 5 wide receiver this year. He's got a quarterback. If he can stay healthy, then that's good. But I would say there was sort of a down year last year for Garrett Wilson. Obviously the quarterback play was abysmal. Last season, the Jets ranked 30th in adjusted completion rate and 27th in catchable target rate. Holy shit, Kyron's finally joined King's Dynasty. That's crazy. 27th in catchable target rate with Rodgers back in the huddle. Wilson is an easy WR1 with top 5 upside, like I just fucking said. Yes. I do believe he could be very good. I mean, it just depends on Aaron Rodgers being healthy, because that dude is 40 years old, and I don't know. Michael Pittman Jr., this is a crazy stat that I saw last year or earlier. This dude only had 4 touchdowns last year. Holy dude, that is horrible. How did he have 4 touchdowns last year and he got 311 fantasy points? It's the targets. It's the receiving yards. Like, jeez, man. He also didn't have a quarterback last year because Anthony Richardson is a run first dude. I mean, you have to agree that he likes to run, and that's dangerous because if he runs, he has a higher chance of getting hurt. I would just say it's possible he could have a really good year this year. You chose Anthony Richardson over Tua, so I guess you like this offense a lot more than you do like Miami's. You did draft Caleb Williams, who is a very good backup. I guess if he's your backup quarterback, then that's good. I do like the Chicago's offense. I think this team could have a chance to make the playoffs this year. I just really hope that Caleb turns out to be the way that he should be. I wouldn't mind trading for Caleb Williams, but that's up to John. Joshua Palmer, I do like him a lot. He is really good. Um, so he was the wide receiver 3 last year with Mike Williams and Keenan Allen when they were healthy. They're both gone, so wide receiver 1 spot is up for grabs. It could be Palmer, it could be McConkey, it could be it's not going to be Johnston, but it could be. There's a solid chance that Palmer could be the top guy for the Chargers. I don't think DJ Chark is anything to worry about. I don't know why they're dominating, but I don't think he's anything to worry about. I could see Palmer to be the guy. I wanted to get Palmer, but I chose Josh Downs instead. Did he have more touchdowns last year than Michael Pittman Jr.? No, he had 2 less. That's insane. Yeah, so you drafted him round 3. That's pretty good. I mean, I feel like John just got so lucky with the draft picks for having a winning team, because he never traded his draft picks, it seems. He traded one away, but somehow he got my draft pick from Jack in the 2nd round, so he got Blake Corum. He traded his 2nd rounder away. Wait a minute. Uh-oh. Wait, no. Wait a minute. Yeah. Wait, let me think this. I think I forgot a trade. Give me a second. We're going to do a brief pause here. Because last year's trade for Aaron Jones and Cooper Kupp, it was Cooper Kupp and the last pick for Lucas's team, which would be the 15th round, and it was the 3rd overall pick, and somehow Noah had that pick. Oh man. And whenever I reset the bench things, it reset the draft, like all the draft picks, so I had to redo them again, which is why one night you got notifications of did I forget? Let's do traded. Oh, Allen I think I did forget to do that draft pick trade, huh? June. Yeah, I did. Well, Griffin, I am so sorry, but you got screwed, dude. So, let me point it out right here. So what I'm talking about here is the Cooper Kupp Aaron Jones trade involved a 2nd round pick from John's team, and whenever the draft picks reset after I took away the extra 3 bench spots, this pick is supposed to be Griffin's. But I guess that's the one thing I forgot on here, and that's what... That's tough. That's actually tough for Griffin, man. And I guess, I don't know if it's too late. I don't know what the league wants to do, but round 11, pick 12 should have been Griffin's pick. That's tough. But I guess overall, I guess Palmer, Allen, come back. You don't have a pick there. Yeah, you see, Jack traded all his picks to John, And then John got higher picks. Caleb Williams, Josh Palmer, and Brock Bowers. So this pick should have been Griffin's, and that's my fault. But obviously, it's probably too late to do anything about it now. And there's not much more I can do about it. That's tough, man. I cannot believe I forgot that. Alright, well, I guess we'll just have to go through with it. And if y'all see this and want to do an outrage, don't talk to me. Talk to John first, then talk to me if it's agreed upon. But John itself had a pretty good draft for having the number one team last year. And his son wants to give him draft picks, so I would say that team... Shit, let me look at these draft players again. Brock Bowers, Blake Corum, Caleb Williams, Joshua Palmer, Ty Chandler. Like, that's pretty damn good. And then Clyde Edwards. Yeah, that's pretty good. That's an A draft. Yep. This guy might win back-to-back. Just saying. So, that's the end of the draft recap. The next video should be the live draft video for Madden Curse, then the draft recap for that soon after. So it will also be a live draft or a live stream for both. Stay tuned. Thank you so much, guys, for watching. And